Hujambo, welcome to Conversational Swahili Grammar A1-B1, and in this lesson we'll be discussing chapter 3, the ANIMATE class, more nouns and agreement. Remember in the previous chapter we had talked about chapter 2, the building blocks, the verbs, the stem, and the present tense. In this lesson we are going to talk about the ANIMATE class, introduction to the noun classes, and the MOA class, MOA nouns and their agreements. Welcome to one of the most distinctive and fascinating aspects of Swahili grammar, the noun classes. This is where Swahili truly starts to show its unique structure, and mastering it is a key to speaking correctly and naturally. Don't worry if it seems a bit different at first, we'll take it step by step. In Swahili, nouns, people, animals, places, things, ideas are grouped into different classes. Each class has its own set of prefixes that attach to other words in the sentences, like the verbs, adjectives, and demonstratives, to show agreement with the noun. This is called concordial agreement, and it's like a grammatical chain where all the parts of a sentence agree with the main noun. In this chapter, we will focus on the first and most intuitive noun class, the MOA class, which primarily deals with the people and other animate creatures like birds, insects, animals, and so on. We will explore understanding the concept of noun classes, identifying MOA class nouns and forming their plurals, how MOA nouns influence the subject prefixes you learned in chapter 2, how adjectives agree with the MOA nouns, 5, how demonstratives like this and that agree with the MOA nouns, 6, how possessives like my and your agree with the MOA nouns. By the end of this chapter, you will be able to describe people and animals, say where they are, and even talk about their possessions with proper Swahili agreement. 3.1 Noun class and overview. Noun classes and overview. Imagine sorting words into different baskets, and each basket has its own set of rules for how the words inside it interact with other words. That's essentially what noun classes are in Swahili. There are many classes, but don't panic. We'll introduce them gradually and you'll start to recognize the patterns. The primary function of noun classes is concordial agreement. This means that if you have a noun from a particular class, any other word in the sentence that refer to it or describe that noun must use a matching prefix from that same class. It is a bit like how in English you say this book and these books. The demonstrative this and these changes to agree with the number of the noun. Swahili takes this concept Swahili takes this concept much further. 3.2 The MOA noun class. People and animate creatures. The MOA noun class, sometimes just called class 1, 2, is perhaps the easiest to start with because it almost exclusively refers to people and other animate creatures. Anything living that is an animal will be in this MOA class. Singular nouns in this class typically begin with m in singular form before the consonant or mw before vowel. Plural form in this class typically would begin with wa. But what is not included here is that this is one of the most characteristics, okay? Most of the nouns start with M in singular form or MW, and wa in plural form. Though we have other nouns that don't start with this M, but because they are people, like my name, Abdul Karim, I don't start with M, I start with A, but I'm a person, therefore I'll automatically be in this Mua class. Names such as Simba, it doesn't start with A, M, it starts with S. So it is Mua class because it's an animal. This is according to the modern Swahili grammar. Okay, now words such as Baba, father, they also be in this class simply because they are animate creatures. Animate creatures, they'll fall into this category. So not all the nouns start with M for the Moa class, but most of them start with M. Let's look at some common examples. Singular words. Mtu is a person, mtu. If they're many, we say watu, people. Mwanafunzi, a student. If they're many, wanafunzi, students. Mwalimu, teacher. Walimu, teachers. Mtoto, a child. Watoto, children. Mzee, an elderly person. Wazee, elderly people. Mganga, doctor. Waganga, doctors or healers. Mwana is a child. Wana, children. This word muganga. Muganga is a term that is used to refer to a doctor who uses traditional medicine. But also, we also have another, like we have some doctors who use the traditional medicine or they do witchcraft. Yeah, some of them are called muganga, but the muganga typically is a traditional doctor. Okay, yeah, traditionally people go to this kind of people for treatment. They use the mitishamba medicine from the natural trees. No, so we say mganga. Mwana is a child, but though the word is not very common, mwana. Same like mtoto. Mwana, mtoto. Some nouns referring to people, especially those borrowed from other languages like daktari, dereva, don't follow the mua prefix pattern, as I said before, in the Swahili noun itself. However, they still take the mua class agreement with other words. Why? Because we said the mua class is animate creatures. Yeah, because they are people, they are animal, they will take the agreements for the other words. Example, the word daktari is a doctor, and if the many madaktari, doctors. Though ma is usually another class for borrowed words referring to people, the ma plural goes with mua agreements. We'll cover this more much later, but for now, just focus on the mua examples, the core examples. Here we have an exercise idea just for your practice. Singular to plural. I will read a list of words, then you will tell me its plural, okay? The first word is mtoto. Practice with me. Mtoto. What is the plural for mtoto? Watoto. You got that right. Two, mwanafunzi, a student. What is the plural for mwanafunzi? Wanafunzi. You got that right, okay? Three, mhandisi, an engineer. Mhandisi. What's the plural for mhandisi? Let's see. Wahandisi. You got that correct. Two, access idea number two. I will read this word, then you tell me its singular form. One, madaktari. 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 If you said mudaktari, no, it's daktari. Daktari. Okay? Next word is mkulima. Sorry, we'll cancel that. Next word is walimu. Walimu, teachers. Walimu. What is its singular? Walimu. Mwalimu. Mwalimu. Thanks. Mwalimu. One more. Madereva. 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 Drivers. Was it singular? Dereva. That's correct. Thank you so much. We continue. 3.3. The Mua nouns and subject prefixes. Mua nouns and subject prefixes. You already learned the subject prefix in chapter 2, remember? It turns out that the third person singular and plural subject prefixes, the are and the were, are directly linked to the Mua noun class. You remember when we said like anasoma, anasoma. Yeah, if it's Mimi, I say ninasoma, but wewe unasoma. So yeye, the third person, anasoma, and for plural, wanasoma. That starts with the a, and the plural starts with the wa. That a and wa is directly linked to the mua class. And also this class, mua class, is sometimes referred to as our because of these two prefixes. Yeah. When you're talking about one person or any other noun in Mua class, you use the a subject prefix. And when you're talking about many people or any other noun in Mua class, we use wa subject. Let's combine this with the present tense na maka. Number one, mtu anasoma. Mtu anasoma. A person is reading. The person is reading. Watu wanasoma. The people are reading. Watu wanasoma. Mwalimu anafanya kazi. Mwalimu anafanya kazi. The teacher is working. Walimu wanafanya kazi. The teachers are working. Mtoto analala. Mtoto analala. The child is sleeping. Watoto wanalala. Watoto wanalala. The children are sleeping. From example 1, which is singular form, and example 2, which is plural, you can see mtoto analala, mtu anasoma, watu wanasoma. You can see it's a and wa. So any noun you're talking about how it agree with the verb, the subject of the verb, the prefix will be a in singular form and wa in plural form for the mua class. Mwalimu anafanya kazi. The teacher is working. Walimu wanafanya kazi. Awa. Mtoto analala. Watoto wanalala. A child is sleeping. Children are sleeping. We will have review exercise, but I want you to try and make your own sentence. Write in your notebook your own sentence. Choose any noun in the Mua class. Make a sentence with any verb. It can be kulala, it can be kusoma, it can be kujaribu. Remember the verbs we talked about them in the previous chapter, or if you have any other list, then yes. Use example, write 2-3 examples. And this is how the nouns in Mua class agree with the verbs. They take a and wa. This is the first aspect. We're going to the second aspect, 3.4, describing people. Mua nouns and the adjectives. It can be describing people or any other noun in the Mua class. Just like verbs, adjectives also change their prefixes to agree with the noun they describe. For the Mua nouns, the singular form will be, it will take M in singular form and wa in plural form. Yes. Then I will explain to you one of the most misunderstood thing concerning the word habari. Habari, okay? We'll come to that. But habari is not in Mua class, but I'll tell you something that is most misunderstood about habari, or the question that is most asked about this word habari. Let's look at some common adjective and how they agree for Mua class. The common adjective on the left side of this table is Zuri is an adjective stem. It means good. Zuri means good. Baya means bad. Fupi is short. Refu, tall or long. Dogo, small. Kubwa, big or large. Aminifu, honest. Erevu, clever. Eupe, white. Embamba, thin. Embamba. I added this. Embamba, thin. Now let's go to the rule again. For singular, mu class nouns, adjective takes the M or MW if the adjective stem starts with a vowel. Okay? In plural, the adjective starts with the wa. Now, let's see. Adjectives with the consonants are here. Zuri, baya, fupi, refu, dogo, kubwa. Aminifu start with a vowel, so it means we'll take the MW instead. Erevu also vowel. Eupe also vowel. Embamba also vowel. The three main color: Eupe white, Eusi black, Ekundu red. They start with the vowel. So when you're describing something like that, it starts with MW for a person or for any noun in Muak. Now here is the part. Mzuri. Mzuri means good. Wherever you say mzuri, you are talking about a person or a noun in Mua class. And that's why when I said habari, someone say habari, you say mzuri. Don't say mzuri. It means habari mzuri. Can you say habari mzuri? No. When you say habari mzuri, it means habari is a person. Now, habari is not a noun in Mua class. You don't say habari mzuri. Instead, we say habari nzuri with an N, nzuri. That's the difference. People ask, is it habari nzuri or is it habari mzuri? So next time I say habari and you hear someone say mzuri, no, hapana. It's habari nzuri. Now, for this mua is mzuri because we're talking about a person. Mtu mzuri, a good person. And here we have wazuri. People are good if they're many. Watu wazuri, good people. Mbaya. Notice how I read this. Mbaya. Mbaya. There is no vowel here. There is no vowel here. So you don't say mabaya or mebaya, miba. No. Say mbaya, mbaya. Then many wabaya, wabaya. Mfupi, mfupi, wafupi. I noticed most of my friends, they have problem with pronouncing a letter M if it doesn't have a vowel. They tend to add a vowel. Like here, mafupi, they say mafupi, but it's just mfupi, 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 mfupi. Wafupi, short. Mrefu, long or tall. Warefu, long or tall. Mdogo, mdogo, small. Wadogo, small. Mkubwa is big, singular. Wakubwa, big, plural. Now we have here aminifu is honest. Mwaminifu, honest. Waminifu, honest. Mwerevu, clever. Werevu, clever. Mweupe, white. Weupe, white. Mwembamba is not here because it needs you to fill. How will you fill here? We want to say a thin, and if there are many, thin. We'll do one more with one example, though we also have example down there, but let me use the example mtoto. Mtoto is a child. Mtoto mzuri, watoto wazuri. Mtoto mbaya, watoto wabaya. Mtoto mfupi, watoto wafupi. Mtoto mrefu, watoto warefu. Mtoto mdogo, watoto wadogo. Mtoto mkubwa, watoto wakubwa. Mtoto mwaminifu, watoto waaminifu. Mtoto mwerevu, watoto werevu. Mtoto mweupe, watoto weupe. Mtoto mwembamba, watoto wembamba. More example. Mtu mzuri, a good person. Watu wazuri, good people. Mwanafunzi mfupi, a short student. Wanafunzi wafupi, short students. Mwalimu mwerevu, a clever teacher. Walimu werevu, clever teachers. Next time you want to describe something, keep in mind this MUA class agreement, and I will give a challenge to you. I'll give you a challenge. In your notebook, try to describe any person. Try to describe a friend. Yeah. A good friend. How will you say good friend? How would you say a short friend? How would you say a thin, a bad friend? Right? In your notebook. Yeah. Both singular and plural form. Pointing them out. Pointing them out. 3.5. More nouns and demonstratives. Demonstratives are words like this, that, these, and those. They also need to agree with the noun class for the more nouns. And in Swahili, the use of demonstratives depends on 1, the distance, 2, the singular or the number of the people or the thing that you're demonstrating. We have the first one, near me. If something is very near me, I can touch the person, I can touch him. We say karibu. Karibu means near. So this we say huyu, and if the many we say hawa. For instance, huyu ni mwalimu. This is a teacher. If the many, hawa ni walimu. These are teachers. I can touch them. Then we have a little far. A little far in this case is that maybe you are in one room and then something is at the corner of that room. Your hand cannot reach. Yeah, you say huyo, that. And if the many, we say how, those. Another thing we have far away, mbali sana. Mbali sana is far away, that and those. You notice in English they are same, that and those, but in Swahili the distance far away, mbali sana, is maybe you are in the window, just looking through the window and you saw someone very far away. You say yule. Yule means that is very far away. Yule, and if the many, you say wale. Wale, as you can see here, yule and wale. Again, huyu, this, hawa, this. Huyo, that, how, those. Yule, that, very far away. Wale, those, very far away. Examples. Huyu ni mwalimu, this is a teacher. Huyu mwalimu, this teacher. Hawa walimu, these teachers. Huyo ni mkulima, that is a farmer. Is a little far away. Hao ni wakulima, those are farmers, a little far away. 5. Yule mtoto, that child. Wale watoto, those children. Yule mtoto, wale watoto. Yes. You can also use demonstratives on their own, often combined with the verb to be, which we'll cover more deeply in later chapters. But for now, remember, ni means is or are. For instance, huyu ni mwanafunzi. Huyu ni mwanafunzi. This is a student. Hawa ni wanafunzi. These are students. Now, you need to make your own examples in your notebook. I always advise my students to have a notebook to take notes and to make more examples as they can. You can try to combine this, huyu, the demonstratives, with the adjective, with the verb. I'll give you one example, but it's not written here. I'll just say it verbally. Mtoto huyu ni mzuri. Mtoto huyu ni mzuri. This child is good. If they're many, watoto hawa ni wazuri. These children are good. And I want to say, this good child is playing. Mtoto huyu mzuri anacheza. Mtoto huyu mzuri anacheza. If they're many, watoto hawa wazuri wanacheza. Watoto hawa wazuri wanacheza. Alright. 3.6. 3.6. But for those examples that I gave, I combined the noun, I combined with the demonstratives, I combined with the adjective, and I added the verb at the end, if you noticed. And I kept the agreement of the Moa class. 3.6. Whose is it? Moa nouns and the possessives. Possessives show ownership. My, your, his, her, and so on. In Swahili, possessives endings which attach to a possessive stem to agree with the noun class of the thing being possessed, not the possessor for more nouns. Again, in Swahili, possessive endings which attach to a possessive term also agree with the noun class of the noun being possessed, not the possessor. Let's see, the possessive prefix for the Moa nouns is W. We then add the possessive ending. Yeah. Basically, for most nouns, the core nouns of Moa class, the possessive is W, every noun. But we just have few exceptions which I'll explain. Meaning, my, the root here is angu, angu. Yeah, we need to add W here. Your, we say ako, this is the root. His or her, we say ake. Our, we say etu. You are plural, we say enu. There, we say ao. Alright? Now, my, angu, will add a W and become wangu. Ako will be wako. Ake will be wake. So, ake, wangu means mine. Wako, your. Wake, his or her. Wetu, our. Wenu, your, plural. Wao, their. Examples in sentence: mwanafunzi wangu, my student. Mwanafunzi wangu, my student. Wanafunzi wangu, my students. Wanafunzi wangu, my students. Mwalimu wake, his or her teacher. Mwalimu wake. Walimu wake, his or her teachers. Mtoto wetu, our child. Watoto wetu, our children. Right? Yes. You can make your own example using noun for this Moa class, like mtoto, mwalimu, mzee, and so on. Let's see. Exceptions, as I said. Exceptions for this Moa class. This table might not be in your version. I added this table while I was explaining to my students in my online class. Baba, we have exceptions. Exceptions are for most family members' terms that don't have plural forms. Yeah, Baba is father, and if there are many, we say Baba too. Just no, not Wababa, no. Don't say Wababa or Mababa, no. Baba, Baba. Mama remains Mama. If there are two, just say Mama. Kaka is a brother, and if there are many, we say Kaka. Say, same. Dada is a sister. If there are many, is still Dada. Ndugu means sibling. If there are many, we say Ndugu. But we have Mjomba, then Wajomba. Mjomba singular, wajomba plural, mzazi singular, wazazi plural, mtoto singular, watoto plural. You can see these are the family members that change, they're plural and singular, and this one will take the typical W and W, singular form W, plural form W. But for these that we said they don't change, they take Y in singular form and Z in plural form. For instance, we want to say my father, I say baba yangu instead of baba wangu. I say baba yangu. Your father, I say baba yako, baba yako. His father, baba yake, his father, baba yake. Let's say our father, baba yetu, baba yetu. Your father, you are many and you have one father, you say baba yenu, baba yenu. Their father, baba yao, baba yao. If it's mother, same say, my mother, mama yangu, mama yetu, mama yako, mama yenu, mama yake, mama yao. And what about the Z? Z is used if the fathers are many. Maybe you have two fathers. You say baba zangu. With the instead of Y, we put Z here. Baba zangu. If you have, yeah, if it's you, I want to say your father's, baba zako. Instead of Y here, we say Z. Same to kaka. If it's my brother, I say kaka yangu. And if the many, kaka zangu. Your brother, kaka yako. And if the many, kaka zako. Okay? Same to dada, ndugu, yes, and so on. So whenever this plural word are basically for the noun. If the noun is in singular form, we use Y. If the noun that we're talking about is in plural form, we use Z. But for the others, normal noun for more class, it is W, irrespective whether the noun is in singular form or plural form, we'll add just W. For instance, in this case, the noun is in singular form, mwanafunzi wangu, and in this case, the noun is in plural form, wanafunzi wangu. We use wangu, WW, same. Chapter 3, review and practice. You've tackled this fascinating world of Swahili noun classes. Starting with the important MUA class, you've seen how the and MW for singular and WA for plural nouns dictates the agreement of subject prefixes, adjectives, demonstratives, and possessives. This concept is fundamental to sounding natural in Swahili. I tell you, nakwambia, wakushegai. Review exercise for chapter 3. Identify and make them plural. For each of the following, identify if it's an MUA class noun and then provide its singular form, its singular and plural form. So one is mtu. How is the plural for this? Mtu. Mwalimu was a plural. Mwanafunzi. Mtoto. Mzee. Mgeni. Rafiki. Rafiki is a challenge. Not always MUA, but takes the agreement. What is the plural for Rafiki? Exercise 2. Please write this exercise somewhere and confirm your answer from the QR code provided. The QR code is at the very last pages of this book, or you can just take in the tables of context. 2. Complete the agreement. Fill in the blanks with the correct MUA class agreement for the words in parentheses. Now, 1. We want to say he or she is reading a book. Nasoma kitabu. How would you say he or she is reading the book? B. They are singing. They are singing. We need to put the subject prefix for many people. They. Mwanafunzi. Yeah, we want to say good student. Mwanafunzi. Good. Watoto. Short children. We have here this lady, mwanamke, this lady. How do you say this lady in Swahili? F, those, wanaume, those men. How will you say? G, mwalimu, my. We want to say my teacher. H, wazee, their. We want to say their elders, wazee. How do you say their elders in Swahili? 3, translate to Swahili. The teachers are sleeping in Swahili. Translate, please. This is a tall student. This is a tall student. Those are our children. My mother is working. Yeah, hint. Mother is a common mua noun, though no mua prefix on the noun itself. E, your dash singular. Honest friend is coming. Your honest friend is coming. F, we are speaking with many people. Translate this into Swahili. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for reaching to this level. Do all the exercise and confirm your answer from the QR code. Just scroll down. You will see the QR code in the last pages of this book. Also, you can just find the QR code on the table of content. Just check the very last. Let me show you where to find the answers to this book. Yeah, you see this? Which page? So this page is a little bit different, but just go to this point here. You can scan this code and you'll see the answers, okay? All right, see you in the next lesson. The next chapter will be covering the key V class. This is the second class. What is it? The key V class. See you in the next lesson.